Hi, I'm Adora, a content designer here at KiwiCo, and today we are building the KiwiCo Ballista. Are you ready for some surefire fun? Part A, make the body. First, grab the piece that says A2 on it and a circle with the holes in it. Attach the two pieces here. Now, grab the piece that says B2 and slot it in here. Next, grab the C2 piece and attach it right here. Now, turn and place this wooden piece here. It's helpful to try lining up the holes. Then, grab the ball keeper piece and slot it in here. Alright, now grab two small bolts and twist them here and here. Time for our first stop and check. Make sure the ball keeper is flat against the wood. Next, grab the wooden piece with no lines and the handle. Attach it on the shorter tab side. And now get the piece with the lines. This wooden piece goes here with lines facing outwards. Okay, time for another stop and check. Look at the handle from the side. The bottom should be slanted like this. Next, flip this piece over. Look for A1 and C1. Squeeze the wood pieces together and push through the hole. You want to slowly mash the numbers up. Push all the way into the notches. And now place the front cap over the holes. Line up the holes and the slot at the bottom to make it easier. Then place the ratchet base here. Match the position to the shape. Now use a long green bolt and push through. Try wiggling the screw to line up all the holes, and twist the nut to hold in place. Next, flip another ratchet base over and match the position to the shape. Then, use another long green bolt and nut. Push the bolt through and hold in place with the nut. Now repeat steps 11 through 14 on the other side. Before moving on to the next section, let's stop and check that the ratchet base pieces all look like this. Yay, you've built the body! Part B, add the ratchet. Okay, first step is adding pawls here. Next, add the spring here. And now add another spring here. Time to stop and check. When you pinch the bottom ends of the pawls together, the top ends should open. Careful, try not to let the springs pop out. Next up, add the wedge here. Twist it around until it slides in like this. Now place the ratchet cover here. These bits should stick through. Alright, repeat steps 1 through 5 on the other 3 bases. It may help to flip the ballista over to do the lower bases. Flip this over. Next, place the lever here, making sure to match the shape. Hold in place while adding the knob clip underneath. Now it's time for the knob. Push it in until you hear a click, and turn it so that the gap is not lined up with the yellow lever. Let's stop and check. The knob should be easy to turn in just one direction. To keep the knob in place for now, make sure the gap is not lined up with the lever. Great, now you add levers, knob clips, and knobs to these other spots. Yay, you added the ratchets! Let's try it out. Try turning the knobs. When the lever is down, pointing toward the back of the ballista, the knob turns only in one direction. If the lever is up, pointing toward the front, the knob turns the other way. Go back to the last stop and check to lock the levers again before moving on. Part C, add the arms. Okay, first add the bowstring through the knob. Don't pull all the way through yet. Next, the string holder goes in here, the smooth side up. It goes through the string. If you need to get the string out of the string holder, use a pen or pencil tip. Next, pull the string all the way through. Next, place another string holder here, the smooth side down. It goes through the string. Then repeat on the other side. The string goes through, not all the way. Place another string holder here, the smooth side up. Then another holder goes here, but this time the smooth side is down. Now grab the arm with the letter L. It should be on the top corner. Flip the build over for the next few steps. Push the arm in here. The string should sit in the notches. The arm hangs loose, but it's okay. You'll secure it soon. Just try to keep it centered for now. Now is a good time to pause and talk about ratcheting. This whole mechanism here is called a ratchet, and how it works is when you turn the knob, it twists the string, and the knob can't turn in the other direction, keeping the string twisted. And if you try to turn it the other way, the knob gets stuck on the pawl. Now, a ratchet is really important to our build here today, so in the next steps, we'll be using ratcheting to power up our ballista. Engineers also use ratchets in all sorts of everyday things, like bicycle wheels and clocks and seatbelts. And now for this crate, here's how to power up your ballista arm with ratcheting. First, check the levers. Both levers should point down. Then turn the knobs. Follow the arrows to tighten the string. And you can start by twisting one knob and then the other. But switch to twisting both knobs together once the arm seems less floppy. Finally, fine-tune the arm position. Keep twisting both knobs together until the arm is held tightly and sticks out to the side. The string on each side of the arm should be even. Now that we've got our ballista arm all powered up, what exactly is happening here? Well, The twisting is what gives your ballista throwing power. This twisting force is called torsion, and it is really strong. A good example is if you've ever sat on a swing and twisted yourself up in circles. The torsion from the twisted up chains causes you to go around and around and around after you let go. Now that we've gotten to learn a little bit about torsion, let's get back to the build. Now grab the arm with the letter R. Then repeat step 6 to add this arm. Remember, the string should sit in the notches. And next, go back to the section on ratcheting in the video, or if you're using your booklet, pages 38 through 39, because we'll be ratcheting on this side too. The string should be even on both sides of the arm. Now grab the bowstring and the pull string. Place the pull string here between the knots and pull on it like this. Then, spread the string through this hole. Start with one of the strings first and the rest will follow. Okay, let's spread the strings out on both sides. Next, thread the strings through the holes like this. The knots should be facing down. Before you're done, stop and check. Try pulling the string back. The arms should move along with it. Be sure to check that 1, the arms are centered in the string. 2, the arms are symmetrical, and 3, the string is centered between the wood pieces. If the string is off center or the arms aren't symmetrical, go back to the ratcheting section or page 38 and turn the ratchet knobs to fix. Now that you've finished the bulk of your build, let's try it out. First, take your ball and load it into the front of the ballista. Then, pull your string all the way back so that the ball is sitting up against the back of the string. And finally, just aim high and fire. But if it's not shooting very far, that's okay. Let's calibrate your system together. The strings need to be both tight and even. First, make sure the levers are down. The tighter the strings are, the more power you'll get. Next, the arms need to be even. The arms should move in unison when you pull the string. And third, the string needs to be even and as tight as possible. Now time for our final stop and check. If the strings are tight but the ball is not shooting very far, the strings may be uneven or tangled. Try ratcheting again from scratch. You'll need to loosen all the strings. Flip the levers toward the front of the ballista and turn the knobs outward. When the strings are loose enough, go back to the part of the video on ratcheting or page 38 and tighten them. Now that your build is calibrated, let's talk about some fun ways to play. First, we're going to build a hopper. First, attach the hopper tube and hopper gate together. And now, use a rubber band to hold them together. Now, squeeze the wood to add your hopper onto your ballista. You should hear a click. Now, put all the balls into the hopper at once. Now that your hopper is built and loaded, let's give it a go. You can create a basket for a shoot and catch challenge. First up, fold the basket along the lines. Then, fold and unfold all the tabs along the creases. Now, Roll the basket into a cone. Insert the tabs into the slots and pull the tabs down to close. Then push all 3 tabs in as far as they will go. Try to start with 1 tab first. Now that you have a basket, let's try catching the balls with it, like this. If you're looking for more fun challenges and games, check out your booklet. If you do run into some trouble while playing, I've got you. If your Ballista is not shooting the ball very far, check that the arms are even and centered. If they're not, go back to the part of the video on calibration, or pages 48 through 49, to recalibrate and tighten the ratchets. If the ratchet is not tightening the strings, go back to part B, steps 7 through 9, to make sure the ratchet is assembled correctly. Check that 1, the string holder and knob clip are fully pressed into the knob, and 2, the knob is pressed fully into the base. If the ball doesn't fall into place from the hopper when you pull back on the string, go back to the hopper section or page 54 to make sure the hopper is firmly attached to the wood. Check that the pull string is knotted in the center of the bowstring and the ball keeper is fully screwed into the back wood plate. If the ball gets stuck in the track, check that all the wood and plastic pieces are screwed together tightly. Also make sure nothing is blocking the opening, and if the basket is attached, check that the tabs are pushed all the way in. Now there is a lot of cool science happening to make your Ballista launch projectiles. The Ballista was a giant catapult used on battlefields thousands of years ago. But instead of using springs or muscles, the Ballista would launch the projectiles because of torsion, a force we talked about earlier in the video. See, the soldiers would crank back the Ballista more and more, making the strings tighter and tighter, so it stores up potential energy. This potential energy would be released in the form of kinetic energy when the soldiers finally launched the Ballista. To get the perfect amount of torsion for the ballistas, ancient engineers had to do really precise calculations, and you did not want to be on the other end of that. Thanks so much for building with us today. If you'd like to see more videos like this, just like and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you next time. Oh, yeah. Yeah.